Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the December 7th, 2018, December 7th, 2017, what year are we in? Meeting of the Greenbelt Advisory Commission. The Greenbelt Advisory Commission is tasked with advising the city on land conservation and outright land purchase as part of the 2003 Open Space and Parkland Preservation Village. So this meeting is called to order. Can we start with a roll call? Dina?
Commissioner Allen?
Here.
Commissioner Butler?
Here.
Commissioner Fair?
Here.
Chairperson Fike, Commissioner Fike? Commissioner Gordon? Councilmember Grand?
Here.
Commissioner Ebargwin?
Here.
Chairperson Ransberg?
Here.
Commissioner Stopper?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is the agenda itself. Do we have a motion to approve? Thank you, Commissioner Allen. Is there a second?
Second.
It's a tie, but I think Commissioner Ibargwin was the seconding motion on that. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the agenda passes. Next is approval of the minutes. Do we have any feedback or comments before we move to approve?
Could we have a minute to read them?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
This is approval of the agenda that we're going through.
No, the minutes.
minutes.
We did the agenda. Any edits, corrections, suggestions? We have a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Commissioner Cares, we have a second.
Second.
Commissioner Buttry, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Public commentary. 4 minutes, 4 speakers at a max, 5 minutes speaking time. And sign-up is supposed to take place prior to the meeting by notifying the chair of city staff. I don't think anyone signed up, but we have 3 distinguished guests in the audience. And really, you don't have to do this, but if you'd be willing to come up to the podium and just tell us your names and where you're from and why you're here, we'd love to hear from you. And you can all come up together. Yeah, you don't have to come.
Well, we're all here for the same reason, but I'm Michelle. I'm from Chicago.
I'm Ava, and I'm from Harbor Springs, Michigan.
I'm Delana. I'm from Huntington Beach, California.
We're taking an environment class that we were told to come to a planning commission or Greenbelt commission meeting.
Fantastic. Is this through University of Michigan?
Yeah.
Mhm, It's land use law and policy.
Oh, is this a graduate or
No,
undergraduate course?
undergraduate, yeah.
Through what department?
The program in the environment.
Pite.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Great to
Thank
have
you.
you.
Thank you.
We'll have open session for a while, and then we'll go into closed session, at which point you all can, there won't be a whole lot
Sure.
after that.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Okay, next order of business is special presentations. Seeing none, we'll move to old business. Seeing none, we'll move to new business and staff updates. Ruth.
I just have a couple of updates. One is we're still waiting to hear. Sometime in December, we're expecting about the RCPP award that we're hoping for, that the Greenbelt put in for a 5-year program for ASAP ALE funding within Washtenaw County with several other partners. So hopefully by the next GAC meeting, we will have that answer. The other thing is I sent out the communication plan and the frequently asked questions for approval. So if you have any questions or would like to discuss that, it's in 2 different volumes. One, we have the actual communication plan, which is kind of a shortened version with our outline for the strategies for the communication for the Greenbelt Advisory Commission from 2018 to 2020. And then we have a longer document, the accompanying staff manual, we call it, with instructions and kind of how to and more detailed like ideas for what we may want to implement in future years. So, and then we have the accompanying frequently asked questions where we're just trying to qualify some information in an easily understandable way for the lay public about what the Greenbelt Advisory Commission does and what the Greenbelt program does.
Thanks, Ruth. Does anyone want to comment? Have people had a chance to review either the communications plan or the staff manual? And if you have, do you have any feedback or suggestions? Because I think our hope is to actually vote for approval of
Yep,
both this
we'd love
evening.
to. And then we will go ahead and post the documents online for the information for people who are interested in looking at it and to distribute to interested parties.
Yeah.
And this is where the communication subcommittee and our Greenbelt intern last year, Kriya K, did a wonderful job of getting the information together and really planning out the communications for the next few years and then figuring out how to go about doing that. So we will now have, well, we already have a Facebook presence and our own account on Twitter. And we would also like to encourage any commission members, if you have anything interesting, either articles or information for the public or pretty pictures from areas within the Greenbelt, if you can send them to me and I will go ahead and post them. That would be wonderful so we can spread the word. Right now, Kriya went ahead and set it up in Hootsuite, which is a software program, so that we have actually twice weekly posts on both Facebook and Twitter for the year. So we're hoping to have another Greenbelt intern for next summer so that we can set it up for the year after that as well. But still, if we can get extra posts, that would be really greatly appreciated.
Any other feedback or comments?
Was this brought to our attention at the last meeting?
I sent it out about a week ago. Yep, but I think we mentioned when Kriya was here.
Just at the end of the meeting, last meeting, did we talk about some other plan?
No, that was this one. So when Kriya K gave her presentation about her work during the summer,
Yeah.
this was the plan that she was talking about.
I remember there was something about the goals for our next year. It was like so many acres.
Oh,
What
that was in the annual report
Thank you.
that we had talked about, yep.
And did that get approved? and
That got
everything?
approved, so
Okay.
now I'm going to bring it to the Park Advisory Commission next because it's a whole Greenbelt program that we're doing, and they're meeting on the 21st, so after that, we should be able to post that.
Thanks for the clarification. Sorry about that. For some reason, I missed that email. If we want to approve this, I'm fine with approving this just with my cursory view of this. I don't have any other questions.
Great. Does anyone else? Any feedback?
I would like to ask the other commissioners on the frequently asked questions, please take a look at those of us on the communications subcommittee had a problem, not a problem, had a lot of discussion over the fourth question, what is a conservation easement? And I would just ask that those of you with fresh eyes, read over that paragraph and just agree that it makes sense.
Yeah.
Was there a concern about the first sentence being a long sentence?
No, which is
Okay.
why it's so long.
Okay.
But if you have, we're totally amenable to,
I mean, I could see sort of where you bulleted it or, where you could make it just a little clearer.
Or-
But that's my own personal
no, that's great.
pet peeve about long sentences. The rest of it makes total sense to me.
It felt, I mean, it's part of the problem is how do you describe a conservation easement that's readily intelligible to,
Right, I would maybe like do a 1 or a 2 or just
Yeah.
kind of subdivide that to draw attention to the two separate things that it
right?
does.
I'm wondering if, and to your point, if adding and limits subdividing the property is already in limiting the type and amount of development.
Yeah.
I feel like it
No, I
might
like
be.
subdividing in there too.
What's that?
I think subdividing in there is good.
That
too.
is actually one of the main
Yeah.
restrictions in the deed, and it's something that is very important to landowners to know. Yeah, the subdividing is,
Yeah, you cannot subdivide.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're limiting the type and amount of development.
But you could subdivide it and still be limiting, at least from a
Correct.
non-developer
I'm hearing you.
viewpoint.
Yeah.
Yes, and that conservation easement, once it is set up, cannot, so you could not, for example, take a 100-acre conservation easement and split it into two 50-acre parcels. But that does not really affect the type of development. So,
Crazy. Your mic.
So it would be to protect the natural or agricultural nature of the land by, 1, limiting the type and amount of development that can occur, and
Yeah.
2, prohibit subdividing the property.
Okay,
Oh, that's nice.
that's fine.
Can we make those edits to add those?
Yes,
Add
can-
1 and 2?
Can you repeat that?
Between by and limiting, put 1. So protect the
Oh, I
natural
see.
or agricultural nature of the land by, 1, limiting the type, and 2, that prohibits subdividing the property.
Yep, that sounds good.
Is this frequently asked question a appendices of this, or is it?
It will go at the end of the plan as an appendix, and then also we are creating a brochure that will include that. So we'll have a couple of different brochures. One of them is about the Greenbelt program, and one of them is the frequently asked questions.
And this will all show up on our website as like a PDF download thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, gosh, if that's the only comment, I think this is great.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Missed that.
Can I just, I love the first piece, the communications report. I'm a big fan of reports that start with goals and outline them very clearly and then build from there.
Yeah.
Oh, the goal, I see.
Well, that really actually reflects Ruth's work, right?
Yeah, I kind of put that in after.
She inserted
Because I'm the same
that at the
way.
very beginning,
I
so.
like.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I would like to add one comment, and that is that if you come up with edits that you would like to make later, that, you know, feel comfortable making them. The whole purpose of this plan is to allow edits and to allow amendment to come along the way as we learn new things, so
Great.
feel comfortable with that process.
This is an evolving document.
It might be helpful also to put something in terms of how does someone get more information if they want to be involved in the program.
Great idea.
At the end of the frequently asked questions?
Yeah,
more
right at the
information.
end. More information, click here or
Ruth,
follow up with.
contact info.
Yep.
And the website.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
exactly.
Nice. Great suggestion. Okay. Any other feedback on either the FAQ or the communications plan? And we might be ready to move to a vote to approve.
Okay.
Is there someone who'd like to make a motion?
I'll make it.
Awesome. Commissioner Varwood, any second?
Second.
Commissioner Allen, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. All right.
And that
Thanks,
was
Ruth.
it for my updates.
Thank you, Ruth. All right, next on the agenda is next agenda items. Does anyone have something they'd like to add to the January agenda? Okay. It says here now that we need to move to closed session to discuss land acquisition. I think for that, we need a roll call vote.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes.
Commissioner Buttry,
Yes.
Commissioner Cares,
Yes.
Chairperson Fight, Commissioner Gordon, Councilmember Grand,
Yes.
Commissioner Ebargwin,
Yes.
Chairperson Ransberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Stoffer.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all so much for coming. Good luck with your exams. Okay, I think we're ready to move back into open session, and for that, we need a roll call vote.
You just need a motion.
Maybe we don't.
Just
We
need a motion.
Can I have a motion to go back into open session?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Buttrey and Commissioner Allen. May I have a voice vote? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We're back in session.
Yay.
Okay.
All right. Next on the agenda is public commentary. Seeing none, we will move to communications. Do members of the commission have any communications they'd like to share? None. Okay. Moving to report from commission committees. Are there any commission committees that would like to report back? We had an executive committee meeting, didn't we? Stephanie, would you like to report back on the executive committee?
Sure. Do I just
No,
read
no,
this?
no, I'm
Oh.
sorry. We have to do,
Oh,
I'm moving too fast. I'm not,
Well,
am I okay? Or when do we do the,
I think we're supposed to do the,
are we supposed to do the motions
shouldn't we
right
do
now?
the motions now?
Before I move us to, I moved too quickly to public commentary. We are coming out of closed session with a number of motions. Would anyone like to read the first motion?
I'd be delighted to.
Thank you.
Move to recommend city acquisition of a conservation easement on the property identified in application ID 2016-14. Approval of a participation agreement with Washtenaw County Parks and Recreation, and approval of the contribution of funds not to exceed $334,050 from the Open Space and Parkland Preservation Millage.
Thank you, Commissioner Gordon. Is there a second?
Yes, I have one.
Oh, we have a second on that motion.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Do we have a second motion?
Oh, I have
A
one.
motion carries. Do we have a second motion?
We have a motion to recommend city acquisition of a conservation easement on the property identified in application ID 2016-09, approval of a participation agreement with Washtenaw County Parks and Recreation, and approval of the contribution of funds not to exceed $196,880 from the Open Space and Parkland Preservation Millage.
Thank you, Commissioner Buttrey. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Do we have a third motion from closed session?
We do. We move to recommend city acquisition of a conservation easement on the property identified in application ID 2016-05, approval of a participation agreement with Washtenaw County Parks and Recreation, and approval of the contribution of funds not to exceed $82,000 from the Open Space and Parkland Preservation Millage.
Thank you, Commissioner Stauffer. Do we have a second?
Second.
I missed it.
Me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Bargman. Could we have a vote? All in favor, say
Aye.
Aye.
all opposed. Motion carries. All right. That closes out the closed session. Now, on the agenda, we can move to public commentary. Seeing that there's none, we'll move to communications. Do commissioners have any communications they'd like to relate? Seeing none, we'll move to report from commission committees. There are two subcommittees. One is the Communications Subcommittee. I don't think they had a meeting. We had a quick one, that's right, to talk about the agenda, to talk about the communications plan and the staff manual that we reviewed today. That's really all we discussed.
What was the staff manual?
The staff manual is the larger document that accompanies
Oh.
this that provides directives on how to run Hootsuite and
Oh,
Twitter
okay.
and all that stuff.
Cool.
Okay. The executive committee also met. And we talked at that meeting about the items for closed session. And I don't know if anything else was on it. Stephanie, do you remember?
I think there were a couple of items which we decided not to bring forth yet because there was some more partner
Some due diligence.
due diligence, partnering agreements had to be reached.
Are we missing anything? I'm looking to Ruth, but I probably shouldn't be. You're looking to step in. Did we miss anything? Did we forget anything? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that's it then.
Cool.
I think we're ready to adjourn. Do we do anything to adjourn? Do
You
we?
can do it all by yourself if you want.
I'm sorry?
You can do it all by yourself if you want.
All right, then this meeting is formally adjourned. Thank you all so much for
Well
coming. See you
done.
next month. Have happy
Thank you,
holidays.
John. Sitting in.
Yeah.
You did an amazing job.